Thank you, yes.
Hello, everybody.
Tonight, we are going to tell you a story, all right? And I am the bad guy of this story, so I need your help, okay? So when I make a very evil laugh like this, I need everyone to say, boo, I hate you, boo. And when I give you the stink eye, you make a hiss, okay? We practice once, okay? Very, very good, okay?
I think what we're all looking for is a sense of presence. Like when you watch someone on stage, what can you get from that you couldn't get from watching a movie or you couldn't get from watching a clip on YouTube? And it's that this person is really in front of you, really on stage, and that when they are able to take all of that in, it has more magic than any blockbuster pumped full of millions of dollars in CGI.
If you go to any number of shows, eventually you'll be asked to do something interactive at one of those shows.
Are you all ready to be horrible people with me now?
There's always some like call and response thing that happens at a rock concert. There's some way to feel engaged. Someone gets pulled onto the stage and like does that really awkward Courtney Cox dance with Bruce Springsteen. People are so excited about that moment that it just keeps them coming to the show, and it keeps them like telling their friends about it and bringing new people out.
The thing that I love about what we do at Trickster is because we're creating a space for people to be open and genuine, people really rise to the challenge.
If you really want to take it back, all of theater starts with religious ritual, and it starts with catharsis. You would be led through this story to a place of tension, and then I would release all of the tensions for the year.
Tragedy plus time equals humor, so humor's been something that we use to process events, so we can come together and work through, in a way, things that are hard to talk about.
Man, Chris, you were talking about jokes before you were a comedian? Yeah, this was the joke before I was a comedian. 1/4 of my life, 1/4 of bleeding, gushing blood. How am I alive? How is this happening?
Everybody laughs. That's part of what being human is.
Vaudeville has always been really big about using an audience volunteer. And when you take an audience volunteer, the whole audience knows that that could have been them.
It's allowing them to access that side of themselves that maybe they haven't been given a stage for before. Without them even realizing it, they become a performer, and they become the one that's the star.
There are these things called mirror neurons in the brain. It's actually a large portion of how our brain processes. When you watch somebody doing something, the exact same neurons will fire in your brain. Your brain copies the pattern, and you feel the same emotions of the person that you're watching, which is really revolutionary for theater.
I think that people like to feel like they're a part of something. Audience interaction allows that to happen.
In terms of specific memories of interacting with an audience member, it's hard not to remember a beer can being thrown at you while you're in a wrestling ring. I said some things about wrestling in terms of how gay it is. I think the wrestling fans that had been there to see the Al Bundy send-up character and his no-man crew were that excited to hear me refer to their wrestling idols in such a fashion. So one of them saw fit to hurl an unfinished beer at me.
What bitch threw the can? When's the last time you tasted pussy? Why are you so stressed out? What's got you so angry inside, little man? What's got you so sad?
He was wearing a baseball hat that said "shitty fucker." Like, I mean, no matter how literally you want to take that, like, why are you outside? What are you doing? So yeah, that was certainly unforgettable when a situation like that unfolds. Yeah, you can't plan for that.
If you can respond to what is actually happening, it doesn't matter if it's not as good as the material you created, it'll make the audience go fucking nuts.
I think no matter what the conflict, if you rise to the conflict, then you're going to get that much more support.
A little more enthusiasm, Grace. Just a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Oh!
Historical example is there was a show based off of Commedia dell'arte, and there was a bee one day flying around, and everyone was like, "There's a fucking bee on stage!" Like they couldn't hold it together, and it was so popular, and the audience was going so nuts. They kept it and they faked it for the rest of the show, and in fact, that show became the story of the bee. And if you can ride that energy, it'll create magic more than anything I've ever seen.
I think that interactive stage performance is important for an artist because it's how you build a fan base, really, and it's how you get, like, your most loyal fans. Some of them even just end up being your friends. Like, they're just people you end up knowing.
Comedy is 100% an interactive art form. You cannot do it in front of a mirror. You can't really rehearse stand-up. You can write jokes outside of the stage and you can, practice their wording, but you don't, until you're interacting with the people in the audience, you have no idea what really works.
There's actually a point where I'm like, you want to participate too much right now, sir or ma'am.
I don't want hecklers. I don't want people who intend to derail material or who honestly think that anything they interject into a crafted joke is going to be funnier than the joke. They're just wrong. I mean, the 99.7% of the time that they're wrong does not make the 0.3% of the time worth it or interesting or worth putting up with.
You're not even funny. Like, your heckles are terrible. If you're ever going to heckle, like, you should be like 235% sure that what you are saying will make the show in some way better.
It's always different. Every party is different.
If you are entertaining children, you have to be interactive.
When you make it interactive, there is something really magical that comes through. It seems so much more genuine and so much more fruitful that way.
Sometimes you're only going to be entertaining the children, sometimes you're entertaining the children and their aunts and their grandmothers and their cousins. The most important part for me is for them to just enjoy themselves, most of all. I had actually spent 3 years as an orthodontic assistant. I thought, hey, I'd much rather paint those kids' faces than pull on their teeth, and the turnaround for showing somebody in 4 minutes how beautiful they are instead of 24 months how beautiful they are is a really big return on 1 hour's worth of work.
Now we're looking again for that magic. We feel like we've lost something, like there's something missing, and I feel like interactive entertainment, pulling on these traditions of the past, is where we're going to find it.